I think it'd be easier for Apex Genesis, even if let's say it goes into the late game. At some point, you just keep throwing barriers on Shadow Fiend, and he like eventually pokes the buildings down, you know?
Yeah.
I think you could do that. You could argue the same for CONSILIUM, like you keep sending illusions at it. But I don't know, it might be a little harder into like Marcher Machines and laser spam.
Yeah,
I
Tinker will
do think
just
a
get a dig
lot.
on as well eventually.
Yeah,
If he really
yeah.
needs one.
I think a lot of this is going to come down to Earthshaker having a good game and being able to make plays because it's only him. There is no playmaker amongst the other four heroes. So if he has a bad time, and I think it would be worth Hoodwink's time to rotate mid a lot, slow him down. Um, if he's having a bad time, his team is just not going to be doing anything. They're all just going to farm. And that's not going to feel great into some of these aggressive heroes that Apex Genesis has. With that in mind, Tinker is not always the type of counter pick that is like crushing you in the mid lane. You know, he plays a lot for himself, which means he's doing a lot of stacking and farming, which means that I think this Earthshaker, you know, he'll struggle a little bit into the laser to start, but after a while, I think he will get what he needs, and it'll come down to what plays he can find.
The battle begins.
The Terrorblade fighting for the rune does actually get it. Interesting. All right, nicely done. That is, however, you would have loved that to go to your Primal Beast, but Big Num will take it. So first blood for the side of Apex Genesis as they run down the mid Earthshaker. Not a good start for him.
Yeah, it means Tinker gets the perfect equilibrium to start the lane off. He at least didn't miss any creeps. Might get denied here because of him being slightly late, yeah, but at least he made it for all the potential creeps. But still, first blood going to the off lane, where I think it already looks kind of decent. Omni Knight's a little annoying, I guess, but I think Fade should find what he needs. All right, off lane Terrorblade. First time I've really gotten to see it too much. It's gonna have to pop off. And we were saying Reflection can be good versus Shadow Fiend. I think if Shadow Fiend steps up too far and maybe gets like dead shotted up, maybe you get a good calling as well. If he can't land the triple raise because you're too close or because he's silenced, and you apply the negative armor, you're starting to hit him with Terrorblade and Muerta, I can see him dying, you know?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I think Yamson, I can't see it happening more than once. You know, I think he's a good enough player where maybe you get dead shotted once and you're like, okay, I slipped up. I don't think you would let that happen a second time.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine that the lane should end up being fairly good for him. Like, I think some of it's going to be on speed. Once he has level 2, the lane gets a lot easier for the side of Apex, I think, just because he can have like the constant Naga illusions running at the support, as well as, you know, getting him free deluge without putting himself in like any harm's way.
All right, for Tinker, I do expect to see just like bottle boots. Will it be straight Aghanims? Is there even a smaller item you get nowadays?
Sometimes. So I've seen some people
Blink?
pick up, yeah, it's like either Blink or a Kaya relatively early, or sometimes like an Aether Lens. But yeah, I've seen a decent amount of people go for the Aghanims that they're as like second item usually. So yeah, he's got Tread's boots or Tread's bottle queued up on the Earthshaker, which makes sense, right? Mid shakers typically do go the Treads.
We'll see if they can get some stacks. Muerta maybe stack a bunch. We see Echo used to just clear out ancient stacks sometimes, like the first one.
Yeah.
Speed yourself up to that blink timing.
Ooh, they actually go for Ensnare on the Naga Siren at level 2. Okay. So, throws the Ensnare out onto the Terrorblade. They actually force meta, which offlane Terrorblade does not want to have to go like almost any points in meta unless he absolutely has to. And so you can kind of see just based on that alone, he does feel like it's kind of an obligation.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Say Naga Omni is an, or sorry, not Naga. Medusa Omni is an awkward lane. You want to be healing teammates, and she just does not care about the heal. She just wants
She's
mana.
like, thanks, I guess.
So I mean, you just use it on yourself, which is like kind of okay, but you know, just a little bit of an awkward pairing because of that. I guess she is a nice hero to stick repel on and sit behind. And snare being used up.
Yeah, that's going to be a third raise to connect onto the kill. Goes the way of Yamsun as the second raise actually also clipped the Terrorblade for a moment. So just like that, quick kill in the bottom lane. First extra soul for Yamsun if you can keep it rolling.
I think that's the nice thing about Ensnare at level 2 is that you can... These two heroes should be keeping their distance from that level, the short distance raise, but if you can pull them into the short distance raise, at that point you're forced to run, and that's when the third raise is going to come in.
Organ's Grasp holding back Fade so he can't actually get the trample damage in there. But... I mean, they've put so much damage to this Medusa. She has so little regen at the moment.
Yeah, 11 stick charges, so she'll get a decent heal, but the equilibrium is not in a great spot for her. Yeah, she's doing okay in the last hit department for now. Looks like mid lane is just a farm fest. Tinker's pulling slightly ahead, but a lot of last hits being had by both of them. This is the downside of Earthshaker, though. Really not the best at rotating. You know, like a Storm,
Not at all.
getting close to 6, could be ready to move over. Ember, Void, Puck, Invoker, all those heroes. Earthshaker, yeah, maybe. Maybe with a good rune, Fissure Block. That's kind of it, though. Otherwise, it's pretty awkward.
Bottom lane, looking for the Terrorblade, actually. He gets incredibly low, but just barely survives. Still has a Fairy Fire to fall back on as well. But yeah, I mean, these real ends into triple raises are super difficult to play against.
They went Falcon Blade on Shadow Fiend. I don't think we see that often.
Yeah, not really. Oh, the immediate response, the calling with the meta. As they're going to try and look for speed here. Raze does connect. The Deluge is out, and that just holds him back completely. Another Raze, and now Yamsun, he just dies to his own illusion.
I don't know if that Deluge hit.
That will be a kill. All right, very nice.
Good bait with the Fairy Fire. That's the reflection we were talking about. It's really strong versus the SF when you take raises out of the equation. He's just affected by his own -5 armor. So he gets really close to 0. And then you have Terrorblade just pumping out damage in the meta and your Shadow Fiend illusion. So, like I said, not too surprised to see like one kill happen.
Top lane, what a combo. A huge onslaught
Solo
just brings them both to like 0 HP. We're gonna see a Acorn shot here in a moment, I'm sure. Yeah. Now, he does get the deny off on the Omni Knight, but that is a really rough death. And Fade just takes the stack as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's a little bit of a slow start, but see Apex Genesis starting to slowly pick up a lead across the lanes. Earthshaker's gonna rotate top, see if he can get Fade. Unfortunately, unless you interrupt Onslaught, Primal Beast is really not the type of hero that Earthshaker can get, especially as he starts whacking the hard camp, and I think Fade saw the dead body fly into the lane, so he knows what's going on here.
All right, a bunch of heroes just came to the top side of the map here. This is super awkward because Terrorblade just is free to do whatever he wants bottom. They actually have, yeah, they're TPing back, realizing that they made a little bit of a mistake, but now Terrorblade, he's in way too deep. The reel ends there, raise number 1, bushwhack on back, and that kill goes to Yamsun. So ends up working out.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they wanted to go up and fight. I feel like if you just avoid Earthshaker, he can't get any of those moves, and you'll just buy time for your Tinker to farm, which Tinker picked up a double damage while that was happening.
And he does have his blink.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be showing up with that. I mean, maybe if it happens to your tower. I think he's just gonna farm with that rune. Omni Knight in a bit of trouble. Oh, maybe we are gonna get some value out of that amplified damage rune.
That's damage.
Level 3 laser to the face.
Bottom lane. Dead shot completely off the mark. Did not guess correct there, but decent amount of damage going back the other way. They do have that ensnare to hold him back. The pulver. What? Okay.
A little funny because of the meta, I think, but
yeah. All right. And now Fade will just try and finish this menace off here on the Muerta. Just needs one more auto attack, and he's plenty fast. Got himself the phase boots and the windlace.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, what a scan. Actually connecting perfectly here.
Yeah, this goes back to that Earthshaker. Like, he's trying, right? It's not on him, like, for lack of effort, but it's just not what the hero is great at.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, you're being ganked on by an Omni Earthshaker. Like, how are they going to get on top of anybody?
But I'll tell you what, if he gets to you, man, that's going to be a lot of damage with the the repel bonus strength on an Earthshaker.
That's true.
They'll do the damage, but until you get the blink, it's tough. And that's why we often see the first echo used on a stack, just because the stack doesn't dodge you. You just walk up to the stack and get yourself a couple hundred, maybe even 1,000 gold, depending how big the stack is. But this time I'm looking around and I don't really see any. None worth echoing anyways.
Illusion
try to keep
picked
the
up
rune
by
for
speed, and the pulverize comes out. That one will absolutely pierce that BKB, but the Song of the Siren, the reset is there, and now can anybody get out on the side of the Dire? The Deluge comes in, the Tinker blinks up onto the high ground, the damage to finish off the Earthshakers, and now they look for the Muerta, the reel in to pull her back, and the Sharpshooter to finish the job. Big Num with the double kill. And a very nice setup from the side of Apex.
Man, Kez comes out for less than a week, and they're like, he can't have this. Take the 7 seconds away. Give it 3. Naga, practically 100% ban contest. Multiple tournaments in a row.
Yeah.
And then Song of the Siren, level 1, still just 7 seconds. Give her the
Deluge
Kez
is still
treatment.
insanely strong.
Bring this down. I think level 1 Song should be... It should go like 4, 5, 6 or something. The first point in Song is too good. Or maybe the Song radius shrinks. Oh, actually it does, but like more, you know?
I could see that.
Like, how strong are her vocal cords at level 1? You know, she needs to level up, make them stronger.
Well, another beautiful pick off here in the bottom lane by Fade. Pulverize out onto the Terrorblade, and RCY will be the one to finish that one off. 2 more kills going their way, as it is now 12-1 and a 7,000 gold lead here at just the 12-minute mark.
It started off quite slow, but they're hitting their timing.
Might be seeing some more kills here as Fade here on the Primal Beast jumps on into the mid lane, and the trample more than enough with the assist from RCY, who is now 800 gold away from that Aghanim Scepter.
Primal is so active. He is 2-0-9.
That's Fade for
11
him,
out of
that's what he
13.
does.
Yeah, he's all over the place, which is perfect. You don't need to be very farm heavy this game. You have a Tinker. Even Naga Siren as a support's going to farm a lot, right? So he's just getting involved, just running at people. His farm will suffer a little bit for it, but it's fine. That's his job, is to cause the mayhem, let Tinker join in when he can, let SF farm up, and you're just a playmaker this game.
Radiant are scanning. Dire are scanning.
Oh my goodness, Tinker's almost at Ags already.
Middle tower is under attack.
Oh yeah, I mean he's like very close. Oh, Gorgon's grasp almost saves him, but the sharpshooter's got the damage.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Earthshaker has a haste and a blink. Can he find Fade? Blink, Echo,
Echo,
Fissure.
Ensnare.
One more.
No way, he gets out. Yeah, okay. Nicely done. Kill into the Medusa. That's a good amount of gold.
Yeah, they really need something. Though this does go back to him not being the most farm because he's mostly making plays. It's a good chunk of gold for where they're at, but it could have been even more, right? If he was more farm focused.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's dying is not that bad. It's like part of the plan, you know? Like sometimes it's not going to work out, but you're generally drawing attention to yourself.
Does this guy have 0 points in reflection on the Terrorblade?
No,
Or not
he's got
reflection
4.
and mirror in his
Oh, Conjure Image.
conjure image. Yeah.
Conjure.
Mid lane. Pulverize here onto the repelled Earthshaker. It's going to expire now as they try to run away, but he gets the blink. Nicely done. He'll steal the regen away from RCY here on the Omni Knight, so at least
Dire's top tower.
something going their way. RCY will just TP back to base.
Radiant's
The offlane Terrorblade usually has a lot more points in
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Conjure Image, right?
Usually, your 4-4-0 is your goal. Like you typically don't want to put any points in the meta unless you have to in the lane to actually not get completely ran over. But
Dire's top
yeah,
tower
he
has fallen.
absolutely. Oh, well, he picked the wrong. Okay, he picked the wrong facet for offlane Terrorblade.
Which one are you supposed to have? I've seen people
Not
experiment
condemned.
with both.
The other one is the one I've seen almost everyone take for offlane. Soul Fragment. Yeah. Because you just, like, buy a pipe or whatever, like, early. So you have, like, infinite regen. You don't, and now you, like, if you go this way on Terrorblade where you go, like, regular,
Radiant's bottom tower is under
you spend way too much mana spawning your illusions throughout the game, and it slows down your farm way too much. So he's going to have to invest into a mana item, which he doesn't want to have to do.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So it's a little bit weird. I'm not. Maybe he's just not familiar with the offlane Terrorblade like builds that have been going on. They're not looking too great on the net worth at the moment, but we're gonna see a rotation bottom. Medusa's actually the one in a bad spot, caught way out of position. Pulverize is there. Requiem's gonna fear off the rest of them. They're just trying to finish the job on this hero first. She's taken a lot longer to bring down than they would have hoped, and she's going to be able to survive and walk on out. The Song and the Siren from Speed comes out, but it's a little bit too late. You've already lost the Hoodwink. And Fade will go back in here. Knock into... Ooh, Terrorblade actually with a Sunder, but it's going to backfire as now the Tinker jumps on in. He's got this Aghanim Scepter done, and boy, oh boy, is he about to start deleting these heroes. RCY with a double kill, and Fade still not done, willing to chase this Medusa all the way back to the base. I mean, he's fairly tanky. With the help of the Naga Siren, they might be able to. And they will. They just don't care about this tower.
We cared a little bit. He got a little close there.
Yeah, that's
Used
true,
some
that's
help
true.
from the Tinker, but very worth it. Like, even if he dies, you'll get another carry kill. You're pretty happy with that. I think they saw the stacks as well. Oh, yeah, Fade's pinging him out, so... I think they're going to come over, steal this. Pretty big win for Apex Genesis.
Terrorblade does not have Sunder mid, and Tinker is on the way. And he needs to be very careful. Nope, he's not getting out of that one. Nice jump in, though, here from the Earthshaker to actually grab the stun for just a moment, but...
Dire's middle
RCY,
tower is under
he's very, very scary.
Yeah, Omni is not going to give you the follow-up. He'll keep you alive versus the Tinker spells thanks to the repel, but it's one person. One person gets to go up to the Tinker, and there's not a single individual hero for CONSILIUM that could actually threaten Tinker in a one-on-one.
They just have to walk at him and hope for the best, you know?
Yeah, they're just going to have to drag things out at this point. I'm not really sure if that would have... I think even if they're doing well, that's probably still the game plan, is to drag things out. But now that they're 14k, 15k, soon to be maybe 16k behind.
Tinker's not getting out. He does have the Echo, which could do a decent chunk of damage, but it's not going to get a kill. And yeah, Tinker just secures it. Oh, actually, it went to Yamsun, so that's a free stack for him. Nice.
RCY just teleported right on top of Terrorblade. He just does not care.
I'm not surprised.
RCY coming from the back.
They have a ward up on the high ground, dude. You're not going to be able to get away from this guy. He's just going to get sundered potentially, but he's already TPing out. And now, in comes the rest of the team. The Terrorblade, just food. 17,000 gold advantage now for Apex. As they know they can't get onto the high ground to get rid of this D ward. Oh boy, we've seen. What
is going on with Pulverize?
I think it's something with the ensnare. Maybe it's when they're ensnared and pulverized. I don't know.
The Deluge status resistant changes the distance from which they're at the Pulverize.
Oh, maybe? Yeah, I don't know.
Something wacky's going on there. I'm all for it. Seven, 0, and 7. I think if you can kill Tinker once, you get, like, that's a win, you know? You might lose the game, but you're like, we got him.
I mean, yeah, I guess it could be a pseudo-moral victory, right? The problem is your offlane Terrorblade is about to be passed by the 5-position Naga Siren, and your mid lane Earthshaker is about to be passed by the 4-position of the Hoodwink. So you pretty much don't have any real cores at this point besides the Naga Siren. They really want this D ward, and yeah, she's gonna sacrifice her life for it.
I think you just put another.
Yeah, right. Like, who cares?
Yeah, it's a really good ward when you're holding this position, and they're even looking high ground. Oh, he's actually kept up the lasting presence stacks. He's at 6 right now from that fight earlier. Yeah, from that fight earlier. I guess they.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Perfectly timed it. Look at that Omni just dead in one Pulverize.
8. Oh, the enchant turned him into a blade mail.
Can I get a 9?
With all that minus armor, he took so much damage. He almost one-shotted himself.
There's 8 lasting presence stacks for the 20-minute high ground push here.
That's like, what, almost 30 minus armor or something? How much minus armor is this?
Dude, I don't know. I can't math. It's a 2 per stack, so 16 plus 7.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Can they get one? He still has half the
just
duration. He's gonna make it 9.
Yeah.
9? Ah! Omni, too good.
Right. He gets out. He gets out. Nice save from the Omni. I mean, if you are the side of Apex here, you absolutely want to keep these stacks going. That being said, they are just going to grab the Tormentor really quick after taking the high ground lane of Rax, which is typically not how that works.
Oh,
but that's how far ahead they are.
Floor. Oh, okay. Bignum saw it. This is the desperation smoke if I've ever seen one. This is where you can't just GG when nothing's happened, so you gotta go smoke. You gotta go attempt something. Either you get back in the game or you get wiped, and you can call GG at that point. If you want, you know, you can keep playing this out, but
yeah.
We do see
Speed
that
has
sometimes.
mech. Does he have a shard as well?
Yeah, he just got it from the Tormentor they stole.
Yeah. Alright. Good luck. I was gonna say, if he has shard, I don't know how you take the fights. Fade just gonna pop the blade mail, and there's your song and the siren, as Speed will just simply walk on in, get some vision here, figure out who's gonna be the target, and Fade pops the BKB. Overeyes here onto this Medusa, but the Terrorblade as well as the Muerta just melt under the damage. The Blink, the Echo Slam. It takes down the Hoodwink, but where are you gonna go, man? There is just way too much damage. The Medusa just running for her life, but this kill will be given to RCY.
She's trying to get an extra last hit or two before she goes down.
And there's
there
the
it
GG.
is. You gotta try something like that. It's the only way to get back into it. If you try to split the farm, this Tinker's gonna wreck you. You have to go for a surprise smoke play, kind of like that. But number 2, and if things start to go the same way, it's gonna be even worse because now you have a bounty hunter with track. It's gonna get out of control so quickly. Smoked up though, so they'll know if they run into bounty hunter if he takes invis. Currently hasn't taken anything yet.
Smoke's gonna pop. Ward comes out. Big Num will ping and he's like, all right, my smoke popped here. They got a ward up there, guys. Double wards in the mid lane on the dire high ground. I'm curious how well the Earth Spirit's gonna be able to play into the Coddle, because it's one of those things that like we don't see it a ton, but I feel like he's okay at being able to chase and actually find the Coddle in fights. One thing our observer pointing out, Fade does go the correct facet on the Terrorblade. Goes for Soul Fragment here. I think this will be a massive change to his ability to find farm in the game, so we'll see how well that works. Potential fight for the bottom rune. Tusk just takes it and walks away. Very nice. So we'll just be a 2 for 2 on the runes.
So something else interesting, Speed has actually gone for the potato creep as his facet.
Really?
It's pretty uncommon. You almost always go the Satyr, and maybe he got into a fight. He is not actually that interested in taking. He's got his potato.
He's got the aura now.
Get him!
Get him!
The attack speed aura is kind of cool with his team's lineup. Yeah, I don't know. We really don't see this that often.
No, not at all.
Usually the Ether Creep offers more power in the lane.
But, I don't know. We'll see what he ends up doing with this. It is definitely interesting. Is Juggernaut's weapon invisible? Okay, no. It was just blending in for some reason. Dude, this creep kind of slaps, actually.
15 extra attack speed. Okay, maybe you can take a really cool fight with Juggernaut where you let the Hellbear die, and then, oh, but Jug's not in it. If Jug was in it, he would suddenly get a bunch of attack speed, right? To do more damage and spin. That might have actually made the difference there. Tiny, if the Hellbear was a little closer when it died, I think Tiny dies there. Could be some cool niche tech right there.
Do you know if Blade Fury dynamically updates based on your attack speed, or is it on the point of cast? That's one of those things I can't remember.
Yeah, I got no idea. I'm not a Jug player, so I've never paid attention to that.
I think I tested it when it first came out, but I don't remember if that was the case. Like, I don't remember what it ended up being. But it's all right. He's just running the potato at people. It's working.
Never seen such scary potatoes before.
Okay, RCY is actually owning mid. Every time he goes for the Illuminate, he just rolls on him to get the cancel, and then he just, of course, is an Earth Spirit with more damage, so he's just getting denies. Ooh, bottom lane, First Blood comes out.
Tusk Mortis is not a bad combo. with tag team and then some Ofrenda attack speed, the double shots, pretty solid. I say that, might have stuck around a little too long, getting kind of close. Fade is kind of scary. He did go for a point in meta as well. I wonder if it has to do with the fight that just broke out. Maybe he took it by opportunity. We'll see if he does end up going for the conjure image high levels early.
Chen going on top side, and Yamsun's actually not all that healthy either. Needs to be very careful. Does have the boots at least to get away. All right, so far 2 kills for the Radiant side. CS-wise, it looks like Apex is doing quite well, though.
And this was similar to the last game, too. It was a little slow to start, and then they popped off. This time, I'd say it's not as easy to pop off. Like, Tinker with Blink, it was such a good Tinker game that he was free to do whatever. We saw him TPing, like, in front of heroes in the lane. He just did not care. I don't think Earth Spirit is quite the same, even though we can get active sooner. Really, as soon as you see Earth Spirits hit 6, they often look for a kill with Magnetize. I think he will try to do that. I just don't think it'll snowball as quickly as a Tinker. He might be finding a kill onto the Coddle here, though.
He's just messing with them.
Yeah. Roll is still relatively low, or long cooldown at this point.
Big Num trying to chase down the Muerta. Just needs one more auto attack. Drops the ward, throws the shuriken for it. That'll work. Actually gets the salve out of her as well, so that's a pretty costly death. Now they do have to be careful because Muerta's going to TP in to that Ofrenda in just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I think they're pinging it. They should know.
Yeah, maybe they didn't. I mean, maybe they were trying to bait. I don't know. Didn't quite work out there as you're going to lose your bounty hunter.
I think they just pushed it a little too far. That is like literally 1 second difference, right? If you back off a second sooner, you get out. Top lane, looks like they should be running down the Hoodwink. So finally a kill going towards the Juggernaut. A lot of close attempts, but people getting just far enough away that he didn't actually finish any kills until this one.
Man, this bounty is being super annoying.
He's a strong hero. He's opted for... So he started with Janata, now has 2 points in Shuriken. So this gives you the most upfront laning power.
Yeah.
You don't have as much roaming because you don't have your invis. But in this game, he decided, like, I don't really need to do that for now. Like, it's an Earth Spirit versus a Coddle. Coddle's going to be under tower the whole time. Like, what am I really going to do there? So he's just trying to do as much as he can in the lane. I'm sure he'll get a point in his E, probably at level 4. And then he'll be able to start moving around.
That is a lot of damage onto the Chen. Wow, what a turnaround. Great find there from Menace.
Coddle TPing bottom. He just hit 6. Wants to use Solar Bind.
Yeah, Fade's not getting out of this one. All right, very good use of the level 6 from the Coddle. Great punish there onto the probably easiest hero for him to gank is the Terrorblade.
Yeah, you can't even go to the top lane against a Juggernaut. Earth Spirit will try to go top. Okay, I said he can't go top. Coddle's actually here. Gets a surprise nuke onto Yamsun. There's the spin.
He's certainly dead. All right,
Didn't
very
expect
nicely done.
the blast from behind him. He was not ready for that.
Oh my gosh, he takes their Wisdom Rune. Now, Magnetize has caught the Coddle here. This should be a kill. I don't think he's getting out of that one. Does keep the Magnetize rolling. Now, a lot of damage is going to go back the other way, but RCY will walk this one out.
Oh, was hoping for one more refresh on the Magnetize.
Now, despite being up in kills 6-4, you are slightly behind in gold overall. Now the Juggernaut and the Earth Spirit farming pretty dang well. The Hoodwink is the one that's struggling the most. That is really surprising.
I think she was buying a lot of consumables. There were a lot of trades top between the Chen Potato and the Jug Spins. They didn't die too often, but just take a huge amount of damage. So I think they had to buy a lot of like Tangos and Salves, and that's cutting into the net worth.
Yamsun's trying to force the Tiny away, and yeah, he's gonna say, he's like, you either soak the whole Blade Fury or you run away and I Omni Slash you, right? The damned if you do, damned if you don't type of scenario. Now that being said, the rotation up top side here from Big Num is gonna give him a double kill. Okay. Good bait there with the Healing Ward bottom lane. They do manage to take down the Terrorblade with the Pierce the Veil. And another rotation from the Coddle. So offlane Terrorblade still struggling. I'm curious how close he is to his pipe. Oh, rotation from Chen and Earth Spirit. The kick off the mark. But the Magnetize is back off cooldown. He's only going to keep it here for the moment onto this Tusk. So a nice save from the Tusk to keep him in this. All right.
You at least find a kill, I guess. You were certainly hoping for the Muerta, though. And Muerta...
He's going to Sunder him. Oh, no. He has... Okay, that's kind of funny. He TP's top, gives him Seeds of Serenity, and then goes through Portal bottom.
I'm not going to be a playmaker this game, but here, have a little healing.
Yeah, for some reason I thought he was like TPing into Sunder, but yeah, he doesn't have the components yet for his pipe, so... Oh, that is a dead Juggernaut for sure. This Hoodwink is setting up a lot of kills so far in this game.
Yeah, they're pinging bottom. They want to go for Fade next.
Quick Solar Bind out. Vessel is there. This is what Coddle lives
He's
for.
so dead.
Thunder is out, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. The kill goes the way of the Muerta as another Solar Bind connects, and even the Hoodwink makes the rotation. That's a series of fantastic finds now. Exactly what you need out of that mid Coddle.
Yeah, he's done a great job rotating from the very first moment he hit level 6. Then Twin getting over, finding another Jug kill. He's been all over the map. Has a very early Spirit Vessel thanks to it. Looks like Boots Travel queued up next. So he's going to continue trying to be everywhere. Omni Slash used in the top lane. Should finish up that Tiny with the help of the Earth Spirit. Fight those kills, 10 to 8. It is still a 1K lead for Apex Genesis. Just last hits going their way.
They did manage to soak the level 6 on the bounty finally. Getting both their Wisdom Runes taken really slowed down his level 6 timing, but now that it's online, we might see the hero start to play more around his team. But with it being as even as it is, I wonder who he's going to try and make plays with, because you need to start getting this track bounty rolling.
Yeah, I think it's Earth Spirit. When Omni Slash is available, you could do that, but otherwise you're looking at the Earth Spirit. They see the Courier, so they're going to know Tusk is back there. I mean, they're just poking down this tower with creeps and illusions. So they're going to get themselves the first tier 1. Soon till Omni Slash, another 50 seconds.
A healing ward up here. He's not going to take too much damage. Is he like just outside the sentry range? I don't know. Track is out. TP coming in from RCY. And
he doesn't actually have Magnetize yet.
I mean, I don't think they need it exactly. Well, okay, maybe you do. Oh my goodness.
Rolls off. Okay, double Magnetize. Here we go. Oh, triple actually.
You got to get these tracks rolling and fast, but they just don't have the damage. The heal's coming in from the Coddle. It's just too much.
One more
It
Magnetize.
actually saves them. Is the Magnetize going to finish the job? 20 HP, he goes down. And now Fade. Here on the Terrorblade, does need to be a little bit careful of this Keeper of the Light. Yeah, some of the Blade Fury are going to try and chase down the Hoodwink, and he's got more than enough damage. Now, Omni Slash is up. Needs to be careful. Yamsun can use that as a little bit of an escape mechanic here. He's going to be forced to pomp it. The Merita with the Pierce the Veil actually dodging a lot of it. And now with Pierce the Veil expiring, they've got to decide who they're going to go for. Big Nums, he's got his eyes set here on the Tusk, trying to finish the job. Just needs one more attack. He's got him. All right, so Big Num's the big winner here, as he actually managed to get several track kills. And Chen takes the mid. So it ends up being like an overall even exchange in terms of heroes, but that's what Bounty wants.
Yeah, gold is really starting to go towards them. Oh, actually interrupts the roll. Can they get a toss back? Not quite. Should be out of here as long as he dodges the sharpshooter. Ooh, a little close. But he's good to go. Ring of Tarask should be... He's got the money for it on the Terrorblade.
That Earth Spirit is dead. That's a fantastic find there. Set up from that crash landing slow.
I guess you're just waiting for the pipe at this point. I guess you can take a fight once you have some ults. Omni Slash should be up in 40. If you take one good fight, that actually would finish up a couple of your auras.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yamsun in the bottom lane here is just going to get chased forever, and I don't know how he gets out of this one. Second avalanche, the toss will send him back on in, and, well, roll actually.
Omni Slash in 4.
He misses Magnetize. Oh, no, he canceled. Gets the reconnection there onto 3. You get the Juggernaut here, but it's going to be a very costly fight, especially with Big Nun coming in. Getting his first track kill. Magnetize still going. Gonna refresh it. Now connecting on over to the Tiny. The roll up onto the high ground. Actually off the mark, but... Third track now onto Menace. This Vessel is doing work. The Magnetize still burning through these heroes. It's a slow but fatal death here for the side of, well, they actually hold it off. Magnetize finally expires. And the tier 2 tower plus the Pierce the Veil, is it enough to push them back? He goes back behind the tower once again here on RCY. Tossing in the Muerta will block the stun. Kick back now, but they got him as the heroes will TP on in. Here comes Big Num, baby.
The back. Oh, you almost didn't have enough mana for that.
Yeah, that's pretty worth, I think. It's kind of worth. Terrorblade's in trouble. He has an illusion he can summon in 2 seconds, but he's not going to get the chance to.
Still doesn't have his pipe yet. It would reduce so much damage from the enemy team. They really need that pipe before they fight too much more. But thanks to the track, a lot of these fights are at least neutral for Apex Genesis, if not in their favor. But Muerta, I mean, she's 6-1-4. She has snuck her way to the top of the net worth. I'm curious how many shard stacks she has. Not that she's going to get it anytime soon, but a lot of these early fights can give you a big boost in damage later on when you do eventually get it.
Yeah, it absolutely does make a difference. I'm surprised the Juggernaut is struggling as much as he is. He just has not had a great game on the hero, which it didn't even really seem like the best Juggernaut game when we saw him pick it in the first place, but just was another one of those, all right, well, it can kind of snowball with the team. Like, maybe that's why they picked it. But
Coddle has been more effective versus it than I thought.
Yeah.
Like the Coddle and the Tiny.
Agree.
I think the Avalanche surprise into the Magic Amp nuke coming so quickly before he can spin has been you know, props to CONSILIUM for finding those fights.
Oh,
well,
they wanted one. They instead they find some Huerta on the backside. The Omni Slash just rips through the Tiny as the Pierce the Veil comes out. Magnetizes there. The Blade Mail was just threatening him way too much. Tries to TP out, gets canceled. And Big Num's like, guys, let me get the track. Let me get the track, guys. 3 for 0. A happy accident there for Apex Genesis as they get a way bigger target than they were expecting. 2 track kills and now a Roshan.
Yeah, there's a lot of tracks in that fight too. I think a lot of them were track kills. Now they'll get the Roshan as well. I think you're starting to hit your stride on Apex Genesis. You've got the pipe. What other ores you got? You actually have 2 drums. I wonder if that was a little bit of a slip up. Usually just 1 is fine.
It's all right, because like Speed definitely wants one for the Chen, like regardless, and Big Num like kind of wants to get the Boots of Bearing eventually. Which top lane, he's gonna find Vagabond here, in with the Sunder, the Spirit Vessel, just continuing to burn him down. That's gonna be another one going the way of the bounty. Suddenly an 8,000 gold advantage, 9,000. Similar to what we saw last game. It was fairly close for a while, and then suddenly Apex just blew by them. Now it's a little bit slower than what we saw last game, but it's happening again.
I need Bignum to buy a shard and stick it on Fade so he can go lower his health and go surprise someone. Please. The people need this. Or, you know, maybe you wait for the Tormentor. Hope for that first. Find Huerta on the Tusk.
Oh, what a grab from RCY on the backside. The damage is more than enough. They get themselves the first kill. It's a track as well. Onto the Tusk. He's trying to survive. Toss sends him to safety, but RCY is not done. And now Tiny delivered to death's door. 4 dead for the Radiant as Apex Genesis blow this game wide open.
This is the bounty hunter effect, man. Would you believe me if I said 3 minutes ago it was a pretty even game? It was so close. But the track and how quickly it's gotten out of hand, like the fact they were able to find like 4 kills there, and I think there were at least 3 track kills.
3 of 4 tracks, yeah.
Yeah, that's been the story for the last 2 minutes, and suddenly it's 15k. Steal the Tormentor as well. Who did that go to? Speed.
That's a good one. That's a good little shard to have for free. Speed.
Oh! Yeah, you better finish it in this spin.
Yeah, he can.
Okay, and it went to Bignum as well. Okay. Gonna immediately put that
Both
into
support
use.
shards. That's really nice, actually.
He is so fast with the shard, actually.
It's Alchemist's ult, literally. Like, that's the reason this build works. Is like you just get your pipe, then you get your shard, and you just run around with images that cost health instead of mana, and you regen the health off instantly. Like it took like what 4 seconds for him to regen all the health from the image, and it cost him 0 mana. So you don't have to buy mana items. Like this is what makes this facet good for this offlane Terrorblade.
What do you think is stopping carry Terrorblade from just doing the same thing, but with maybe a different item instead of pipe? Use some other health item?
So I think it's part of the fact that offlaners are stronger than safe laners. Right? Like I think part of it is that Terrorblade can play into into safe lane carries, because typically safe lane carries and stuff are a little bit weaker. Whereas like if you were to play like this build into, I don't know, a Primal Beast or like a Mars or you know, some of the other like meta off lanes that we see, it just gets punished in lane, and then you don't really have space to farm. But the only thing that keeps him alive is the pipe. You don't really want to build a pipe as a carry. Another grab top lane. Just gonna slowly but surely whittle down this Tiny here. Reflection out. RCY is in. All right, there's going to be the Will-O-Wisp. Blade Mail, the BKB, and the Magnetize is out. On to 3, as he's just not going to stop anytime soon. The kick is out. A boulder off the mark, dodged by the snowball of the Tusk. But on the other side, Yamsun's just diving him into the base. The Omni Slash takes down 2, and he gets a triple kill with a perfectly timed Maelstrom. As now Fade is just running into the base with Yamsun here, looking for kills. The Sunder onto Menace, and the boy just doesn't seem to care all that much. Forced back into the enemy fountain. We might be seeing those G's drop soon. It is suddenly now a 24,000 gold advantage.
This is where we need that potato creep to die for his team. Got upgraded to Hellbear Smasher though.
Yamsun put the static charge Mjolnir active on himself, and like Merita pierced the veil and attacked him, and it procced it, and it killed both the Hoodwink and the Coddle behind her. It was pretty cool.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's easy to underestimate what Mjolnir can do in fights, but it's kind of like a blade mail in a sense, right? Because you're reflecting when they attack you. Terrorblade.
They could go here onto the Terrorblade, but a tanky boy, not what you expect from this hero. Do they have the damage? They do. But at what cost? Yamsun in the center of the fight with the static charge. The Will-O-Wisp is doing so much work here. He actually makes it up onto the high ground, but taken down in the last second by Menace. But the Magnetize, the real threat in the Bounty as well. You cannot escape these guys. 3 seconds left. RCY thought about going. Just kills the Hoodwink anyway. Doesn't seem to care all that much. He's got a shield rune in the bag.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
RCY is just toying with him.
Radiant's middle tower
Having some fun. In the mid lane, his supports are focused gamers, as the supports are. It's the cores diving, going for kills. They're like, okay, we'll take the towers. We know how this goes. I don't know if you actually have time for this tier 3. I think you gotta get out.
Oh, well, now you do. You sunder up the boy. They just jumps right on in. Where it's, I don't think you're making it out of that one. Not at all. Another track kill into the pockets of the Bounty Hunter. RCY still has this shield rune at the ready if he even needs it. Onto the high ground. A nice Will-O-Wisp holding back several. Toss up aggressively. But RCY is just still full health. Like, no one's dying. Omni Slash now just to isolate onto the Tiny. He's going to go down. As Apex playing with their food a little bit here. BKB doesn't get it off. He goes down. RCY goes in way too deep. 2,000 gold bounty for him. As now they're looking to chase. Fade taking a lot of damage here. Yamsun goes in aggressively, pops the blade. This Blade Fear is doing so much damage, just takes out the Muerta. You're going to lose your Terrorblade in the process. He finishes off that Will-O-Wisp. You're slowly ticking down on the side of the Radiant, and they'll be forced to back away. The track's onto everybody. Blink up in a second here. Yamsun thinking about going in, but will not.
These fights are taking long enough that he is able to get tracks off. Sometimes, like, the fights happen so quickly that you only get, like, 1 track kill, but these are consistently all the heroes being tracked. It's 27k gold lead for Apex Genesis. The Coddle is the only one currently remaining above some enemy heroes. And it's just the Terrorblade of the Chen. Like, we're about to have 5 heroes richer than the enemy team. Very rare. Even got a now on Bounty. They're just trying to nuke more heroes a little faster.
Oh, does he get out of this one? Oh, there's an Atos. Of course not. All right. Well, that's another one going into the pockets of the Bounty Hunter there. Is the Atos on Fade?
Yeah, this is a wacky build.
That's cool. RCY with a solo kill bottom side thanks to this haste rune. Pop the Magnetize to take down that Coddle, and we'll just now look to finish off Menace.
Oh. Chasing the wrong way. The creeps were actually following Hoodwink. I thought they knew where she was. Maybe overlooked that. I don't think it'll matter too much in the mid lane. I'm not sure if Morita can get out of here. She seems stuck in some. I don't know what just happened there, but there's two more kills, 3 more.
Yeah, this one's over. Apex Genesis just runs over.
Wait, Chen needs a little more money. Oh, quick, guys, take buildings. Do it for speed. He needs 500 gold.
Well, that's going to do it. CONSILIUM tap out. Apex get themselves a well-deserved 2-0.